Providence Television International, the game changer, taking you to the outer limits of television.
The World Cup is here again. The 2026 FIFA World Cup Championship is happening in full stream. A 39-day tournament running from June 11 to July 19, 2026. 3 venues, 48 teams, and a total of 104 matches. It's going to be excitement never before seen in football, with spectacular players showcasing their skills and extraordinary talent. And your frontline station, Providence Television International, will bring you highlights as they unfold on the program World Cup Updates. The program is proudly sponsored by the following: Joe Odu, a great football enthusiast and UK-based public relations consultant; Karam Travels, one of the leading and reliable travel agencies in Nigeria, located at number 66 Airport Road by Akenzoro Junction, Benin City; Professor Peter Eriki, a world-renowned business and finance expert, creating opportunities for young entrepreneurs; Enoche Ogbebo, a name you can't ignore, a global connoisseur of artifacts and promoter of magnificent works of art; Dr. Felix Idahosa, the Chief Executive of Uyi Idahosa Global Ventures, promoting upcoming young musicians by providing financial assistance in records and video productions. Contact address 30 Gapiona Street, Benin City, Edo State. Telephone WhatsApp 1425-750-7027. And lastly, Igbino Odua Desmond Isekure, a remarkable lover of football and member of the Nigerian Democratic Congress (NDC). We thank them for their support and commitment.
Welcome to the program World Cup Updates on Providence Television International. I am Ugbebo Ikekwa.
And I'm Emmanuel Egariwa, your regular co-host on this program, and I want to thank you very much for staying with us.
Well, the World Cup 2026, quite an eventful one. It is still ongoing, and Dr. Egariwa is going to give us some hints as regards recent happenings in the World Cup 2026.
It's been a wonderful tournament so far. We've seen a lot of wonderful matches, a lot of upsets, I should think. The World Cup, it's playing up to its billing. And I think that in looking back, for now we've had a total of 269 goals scored in all the matches, 92 games so far in the series, and 7 goals apiece. I mean, the 7 goals, that's the highest scored by 3 players, Argentina's Messi, Mbappe of France, and Haaland of Norway. They are leading, so we don't know who's going to be the top scorer for the tournament right away. But I think that we've had some outstanding matches, obviously, and I will tell you that Argentina had a nightmare playing with Cape Verde, a real big nightmare. I thought, quite frankly, there was going to be an upset there, but exactly. I think they ran away with some good luck. Argentina 3, Cape Verde 2, and thanks must go to the Cape Verde goalkeeper, a wonderful guy. He lost the match, but he won the hearts of people around the world. I think that's the best way to probably describe him at the moment. Belgium 3, Senegal 2. Senegal led by 2-0 until the final moment when Belgium came forward, and it was a sad day for Senegal and Africa. They didn't quite wrap that up as expected, so they lost out in the series. Egypt 4, Australia 2 through penalty, and thanks must go to Salah, the great Salah of Egypt. These have been quite outstanding matches. I think I will stop now so far so we can go into other areas.
Yes, okay. Well, you talked about Senegal. That match was actually something else. And it brings me to this issue. Why is it that Africans are never ever consistent when it comes to holding down goals such as this? They could have easily won that match. They were leading 2-0.
Yeah, again, the spirit of nationalism maybe wasn't quite there. The World Cup stage, it's a global thing. You know, you're not playing a regional championship. It's a world championship. It's not AFCON. Okay? I discovered that most of these teams do far better in AFCON, but when it comes to the world stage, it becomes something else. But we must give thanks to Egypt and Morocco so far. They're the only two teams left. And I must also say that, yes, I mean, some of these things are facts, by the way. 2 of the 3 hosts are gone. Yeah. Canada and Mexico. They have been eliminated. Only United States is remaining. And I just hope they pull through into the semi-finals. Now, Brazil is out. These are the giants. From the bookmakers, they probably thought that they were going to be in the final match, but they are out quite early. Germany is out much earlier. Netherlands out. I mean, these are big teams in the championship, but they are out. 2 African teams left. Only 2 African teams left. Yeah. And which are those teams? Morocco and France. Oh, sorry, Morocco and Egypt. Morocco will be battling France for a place in the semi-final, and Egypt will play with Argentina. That will be a match. And it looks like the final of the final. I should think one of them was going to the semi-final, by the way. And for Salah, it will be Salah and Messi. I just hope that the Egyptians will not be at the mercy of Messi. So that's what we're thinking of at the moment. Now, there are 4 teams already into the quarterfinals. There are going to be 8 teams there, but 4 have qualified already, as at the time of this broadcast at least. Morocco is in. They beat Canada by 3-0. France is there. They beat Paraguay 1-0. Norway is also there through Haaland, who is their key player. They beat Brazil. They edged out Brazil by 2-1. That match was between Europe and South America. Now, the last team there into the quarterfinal is England. They beat Mexico 3-2. Now, that is the rundown. We'll talk about other things in the course of this program.
All right, with your experience as regards such a tournaments, with the exits of the hosts, especially now that there are 2 of them out, do you think it's going to affect the level of attendance? Do you think it's going to affect the level of attendance and attention as regards the World Cup in these areas?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I would have thought otherwise. But, I mean, from experience in all the matches played so far, full crowds at the stadium. And I suppose that the United States will now hold the key, actually, to determine how far we'll go in that direction. Incidentally, they'll be playing Belgium for a place in the quarterfinals. Now, other 4 matches, I mentioned the 4 results earlier on, but there are other 4 matches, Portugal and Spain, next door neighbors, really. That will be something else. So at the time of this broadcast, perhaps we'll just be waiting for that match, but the rest are going to be played subsequently. The USA will be meeting Belgium, and it will be Balogun who has come back. And I think it was through the intervention of Donald Trump with the president. So he has come back. It's a Nigerian-American. He's going to play for the United States. And that match will be between him and Lukaku, who is playing for Belgium. Argentina, Egypt, Messi and Salah will be on stage. And, of course, the last will be Switzerland and Colombia. Well, relatively weak teams, but one of them must qualify into the semi-final. So we are picking, if you ask me, I would say yes. From these 4 matches, we could have Spain, or could it be Portugal through Ronaldo? We could have Belgium through Lukaku. We could have, I don't want to talk about this. Could it be Argentina? I'm an African, so I'll probably just want to support Egypt. But yes, Messi can do some magic. When it comes to the big moments like this. And the last, of course, would be, I think I'll give it to Colombia to also qualify for a place in the semi-final.
All right, we talked about Messi, Argentina. Messi was quite lucky when Argentina played Cape Verde. When they met Cape Verde, and it was quite lucky for Messi. He actually was outplayed in that match.
They kept him. They kept him in the cooler. That was very tactical of these boys from Cape Verde. But I think I must give thanks, and that's impression from many soccer pundits around the world, to their goalkeeper. Yes, who was just something else. In fact, I think he was the one who stood his ground against the boys from Argentina. They kept Messi at a distance, and he was he had a sure relief after the match. He had a relief, because if that match had gone maybe 5, 6, 7 minutes extra, they would have equalized, and they would have put Argentina in a very bad spot. And I thought he saw it coming. he saw it coming because they didn't undervalue.
Yes.
Yes, they didn't undervalue Cape Verde. Relatively unknown country. That's the thing that surprised everybody. A country of over 500,000 people. I mean, just creating all kinds of sensation.
And the first time in the World Cup.
First time. They're the smallest nation so far. And they created so much sensation. And they won many people over with their brilliant performance against Argentina. And I think that's the big thing really about this tournament. At the end of the series, the championship, people are going to remember the match between Argentina and Cape Verde for a long, long time, I can tell you. So they are the toast, I would say that. They've been the toast of the tournament, even though they have been eliminated. But I think they are the toast of the championship. And the tournament has, I mean, we'll look at it now. I mean, Argentina is the defending champion. Yes. Suppose they defeated Argentina. That would have been the greatest upset.
Exactly.
In the whole of World Cup history.
Cup history, yes.
Yes, but luckily, I think Messi has a way of pulling out the big moment when the chips are down. So they pulled through, but they gave kudos to Cape Verde. They knew that they were a formidable opponent, and I think that they were just lucky.
Looking at the matches, as regards the African nations, as regards coaching, yeah, we agree the coach from Cape Verde, he did quite well. But if you look at the match between Senegal, that they lost out, Senegal to Belgium, would you adduce that to that fault to the coach?
Well, yes, maybe he didn't have enough tactical capability, because if I mean, a team like Belgium, for instance, a big team that parades people like Lukaku, if you led up to that point, I think they had less than 10 minutes, and then these things just happened. You could keep the pace, and that would just be it. Frustrate them. That's talking tactically now. You frustrate them, and you keep the ball to yourself. I mean, you just knock it around. And things like that. You take it to the other side, and rather than attempting to score, you bring it back. That creates a lot of frustration for a team that wants to score. I mean, they want to go into the knockout stage better still. But, Belgium is one of the favorites in this year's championships, one of the favorites. I can tell you that big team in Europe, and for them to have, well, they're going to lose, certainly not 0-2. Probably 2-1 or something. But they lost, Egypt lost all the opportunity. And that was it. And Lukaku also scored in that match, by the way. So it was a win-win situation for Belgium. Yes, they won the match, but they also won the hearts of people around the world for having come back so vividly. Okay. Yes, I give them kudos for a very brilliant performance.
So far, how do you see FIFA's hand in this whole thing as regards organization? If you remember a team like Iran, even as of yesterday, they were still complaining about the treatment that they suffered.
Yes, we've been told that they will look into this. They will look into it and see how they can assuage the feelings of the Iranians. Normally, you have, in any World Cup championship, you have hiccups here and there. But my fear is that at the final moment, at the final match, we may not have the kind of crowd that one will expect. I thought that, yes, with a team like Brazil coming in, you see a bigger crowd at the stadium. But they're out already. But that I could have said that perhaps could that be the end of the championship? But gone are those days. In those days, for instance, we used to say that once Brazil is out of the championship, that was the end of the World Cup. But no, it is different. I mean, we're still going to see teams like France, and Mbappe is still there, Messi is still there, Lukaku is still there in the series. Yes, Haaland is there, for instance. And for England, we still have their top players who are coming in very strongly. So it cannot be. I mean, it only just shows that Brazil doesn't have all the magic that it used to have anymore. In the days of their greatest players, Zico, Socrates and the rest, you couldn't talk about that kind of environment anymore for Brazil. But I understand that Neymar, that was his last dance. Yes, he's out of the World Cup, and it's a pity he had to shed tears when they lost out in the match, for instance, and they couldn't even get to the top 4, for instance, in the semi-finals. All right, so it was a bad moment for Brazil. The samba, we couldn't see the samba dance around the stadium. It was enough for him to weep openly. As you can see the pictures out there.
Exactly.
He wept openly. And he is one of the players that we really could rely on. But mother luck was not for him this time around.
All right. This World Cup has been able to dispute one thing. Would you still agree that there are underdogs in football?
The World Cup is like this. Every team that qualifies for the World Cup is an all-star side. Yes, no team is an underdog anymore, really, because you qualify from zones, and sometimes some of these zones are very tough, particularly from South America and even Africa. You can see that the goal tallies have not been too heavy, but the coaches from Africa have to wake up.
Okay.
Yes, coaches from Africa, they really have to wake up. Why is it that we always get to the crucial stage and then we crash out? But I'm hoping that Morocco, for instance, Morocco will play the big one and get into the semi-finals. Once they overwhelm their opponents this time around, they get into the top 4, and that's a lot. You know, I even see them playing the third place match, for instance. So, but yes, let's hope that Egypt will also do something fantastic against Argentina, right? That might just be what people refer to loosely by saying that to be the final before the final. Yes, Argentina and Egypt. Let's see what these guys can do. Incidentally, they both wear number 10. Yeah, Argentina's Messi and Egypt Salah, both number 10 players. And they are top scorers. They're very formidable players any day.
Yes. Last week, the African referee that was denied entry and participation in the World Cup, he was offered compensation as regards some hundreds of thousands of dollars, and he refused. And that has been able to raise quite some debate. Some are saying, oh, he should have taken it. Some are saying, no, it's pride on his part not to take it. Well, some are agreeing that he did the very right thing. What's your take on this?
It was a personal thing to him, personal integrity. You know, having humiliated him, they are not coming to give him, I think, $100,000 or something. And I'm sure that a lot of corporate bodies around the world will give him endorsements. That's what I'm thinking. Big organizations, they will give him endorsement for that kind of decision. You know, he did not disgrace Africa. You know, if you are taking it, it means that money was uppermost on his mind. But he sidelined that and he said to himself, no, I won't take that. Okay, it was a slap on the face of FIFA, by the way. And I think it was good for his own personal integrity. One thing is, it's painful though. Usually, we don't have too many African referees in the World Cup. And he was the best from this part of the world. But somehow, you know, I told you that you cannot divorce politics from sports. They go together, they are like Siamese twins, really. And yeah, maybe they should go down as a big lesson for us that FIFA should not. Because if they continue to do this kind of thing, then it means people will be thinking of opting out of FIFA to concentrate somewhere else. I pray that doesn't happen. But however, this has been a trouble-free championship. We don't know yet. We're going to the real final stages now. Not until the last whistle is blown. We cannot really talk much about
that. One team that was seriously missed at the 2026 World Cup was the Nigerian team. We have another 4 years to go. And what would you propose that should make us not fall out from going to the next World Cup?
Well, I'm glad that the coach, the Eagles coach, Chele, has been given another contract. The contract has been renewed, as it were, but it's painful. No, I mean, not just Nigeria's Eagles. It's painful that we didn't see teams like Cameroon from Africa. We didn't see a team like Guinea or Zambia. For instance, these are great teams from the continent of Africa. And even in Europe, we didn't see Italy, the Azuris. Italy was absent. We didn't see Denmark, for instance. These are big teams from Europe. Even Chile from South America was not around. Peru, for instance, they were not around. So it was not a very good configuration. But people miss the Eagles, quite frankly. They miss the Eagles very much, if not for anything, but for their usual flamboyance. They will appear in jerseys that were particularly attractive. right? Whether they were going for a showpiece or something, nobody will know, but usually that's their style. But they missed the Eagles, quite frankly. And I'm sure that if the Eagles are gone, they will have done pretty well. Again, depending on the stage they will be in. Yes.
Much as I know that we're talking about the World Cup, your opinion as regards the present state of the Nigerian Football Association?
Well, it has to be, it has to be rejigged.
Okay.
Somehow. Because we are not there yet. Obviously we are not there yet in terms of administration, in terms of picking up the pieces and putting them together. The World Cup, you think, is a long time, 4 years. In the next couple of years, the preliminaries will start. That we need to start preparation right away. With a lot of international friendlies, and things like that. We don't wait for FIFA to arrange some of these things. We can do that all on our own. And we can develop local talents. Really, that has always been my standpoint. Local talent, that you mix them with foreign internationals. I believe that, yes, we still have the potential to hit the world standard. We believe that very strongly. And by the way, a lot of these countries, they respect Nigeria a lot. Because we have produced the greatest of all players from Africa. We produced J.J. Okocha, exactly. For instance, who I talked about him the other day, can only be ranked with people like Messi. Okay? J.J. Okocha, it was even awarded something FIFA the other day that the best player that could keep the ball.
Yes, exactly. Dribble. I think the best dribbler.
Yes,
award. The World Cup history.
Yes, World Cup history
exactly.
By FIFA. So he's one of them, and many people like him. But he's been particularly outstanding, right? But he retired too early. That's the thing I would talk about. I would love to talk about this. We need to start training our boys very early. Okay. Usually they start late. And they get exhausted by the time they play maybe 10 years, in a straight line. But they need to start early. Messi, for instance, started at about 16, 17 or thereabout. Yes, he's still playing. Okay. So if you start early, then you have a long span of years to excel.
Yeah, that's true.
But if you start late, you get, football is a very funny game. You get exhausted very easily by the time you play 5, 6, 7, or maybe 10 years. All right? So, but yes, that's true. We need to start them young.
Yeah, just like this guy from Spain, as you know, the Yamal from Spain
is going to play against Portugal. Again, I didn't mention that, but yes, now that you talked about it, it will be the battle between Ronaldo and Yamal. Young man is about 18, 19. Yes, he's going to show them what football is. Ronaldo, I hope he doesn't get Ronaldo played out of the match. Yes, out of frustration or something. And they are next door neighbors. Look at Spain, look at Portugal.
Exactly.
The closest rivals you can think of in this championship. Yes.
Okay, well, on this note, just before we go, the last time you were on the program, you actually made some predictions as regards teams that you see hitting the final. And so, for now, I think about 2 of them have left. Brazil is no longer, you mentioned Brazil is no longer there. Argentina, they were just lucky enough to get through. Are you still going to stick to that former prediction?
I think I see Portugal and Argentina in the final.
Okay.
It depends on the way the draws will go. But I would have loved very much to see them in the final. Because here's a situation where 2 of them will be retiring. Messi will be retiring.
That's true.
Ronaldo will be retiring at the end of this World Cup. Let's say their final moments. For instance, it's going to be very emotional. Yes, where they will wave goodbye to world football at the end. But who knows? There can be upsets in between. Yes, many teams are falling by the wayside. Many are still going to fall by the wayside. We're going to the semi-finals. Then from there, you move into the third round, third place match.
Yes.
You get the final on the 19th. The good thing is that I don't know. In the United States, is the lone host now. I just hope that the Americans will be good enough to support them into some very vital stages of the World Cup. But the World Cup is something different when you talk about opponents and rivalry. But that will please him more than, I'm talking about Donald Trump, that will please Donald Trump more than anything else. To see the United States, for instance, in the final.
Wow.
He will gloat. He will say it all over the place. Yes, I know him. He will talk about it. Even if the U.S. doesn't win, assuming they get into the final and they don't win, Trump will announce it all over the world.
Exactly.
For the next generations to come.
Exactly.
Yes, he's already in a very brilliant mood. Okay? Right. So, but it's even okay now that they are the only team left of the three hosts. Mexico left, even though they exited one of our teams from Africa. But Canada is also gone, so it remains only the United States. It is very difficult, usually, for host countries to win the World Cup. That's what I find very intriguing in all my coverages of the World Cup. It is it's usually very difficult for them to win. And this time around, I do not think that the United States will be there.
Will be there. All right. Well, Avia out there, first of all, thank you so much for coming to the studio.
Yeah, sure.
And for you, Avia out there, thank you so much for staying tuned. On this note, I want to wish you a happy week ahead.